Today, we're going to make some chicken stew. Okay, so starting out with everything kind of out and ready to go, we've got 3 cans of Carnation evaporated milk. We've got our salt and pepper. We have cream of chicken soup, some whole milk, some chicken broth, of course our chicken, both in a pack from Costco and then also from a can, and then a onion that's ready to cut up. Of course we've got a can opener and some butter. So that should take care of getting everything out here and ready to go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is dice this onion, and then we will put it in the skillet with a couple of tablespoons of butter and saute it. All right. Okay, there's another onions. Love it. Onions here in the saute pan. We've got the butter. We're going to let this heat up, and then we're going to let the onions cook a little bit before we put this plus all of our other ingredients into the stock pot for the chicken stew.
Smells good.
Alright, so the next thing to do is, while the onions are sauteing, you need to wash the tops of all of your cans, because if you've ever seen the Mythbusters episode about rat poop on top of cans, you'll never forget to wash the top of your cans again. So you want to make sure that you wash the tops of the cans pretty good before you open them up and pour the stuff out. Alright, so the next thing we do is, we've got our pot ready, so we're going to put the 3 cans of evaporated milk in there.
1, 2, 3, and we're done with that
Wait.
part.
We're not. So now we put in our onions.
Smell delicious.
They do smell really good. Alright, the next thing is half of this chicken broth.
Chicken broth.
Maybe about a cup or 2.
I'd say 2.
2 cups of regular whole milk. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is add our cream of chicken into this.
Yummy stuff.
We have turned our eye on to simmer. Just to let it get warmed up.
Looks good. Looks good.
What you're trying to do is get a good ratio of liquid to chicken. So right now, you can see in here that we've got this stock pot, this pot here, roughly about halfway full of liquid, whether it be cream of chicken or chicken broth or milk or condensed milk, all that stuff. So right now it's about half full, but as we add the chicken to it, we're going to want to end up with the consistency that we're going to want to end up with our chicken stew. So right now we're at that point now where we're going to mix this up a little bit, and then we're going to start adding the chicken. So here's where we start adding the chicken. So we've just opened up our bag of Costco chicken breast meat that we got, and we're going to just start pulling this breast meat out, and then honestly just trying to squeeze it out. You want the chicken going into the mixture as honestly almost as fine as you can get it, and this stuff is already, all you gotta do is just kind of squeeze it, and it kind of mushes up.
So kind of you're like kneading it.
We're kneading it, right?
Yeah.
Because it really is kind of coming apart in smaller pieces.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is too that this is all cooked. This is already cooked, so you're not having to really worry about raw chicken all over your kitchen. This is already cooked if you get it from Costco. And it's all breast meat too, which is going to end up making this chicken stew very, very good.
And another option is buying a rotisserie chicken and pulling the meat off yourself, and then you do have some dark meat, which does give it a little more juicy texture, but you can't beat the white meat, and you sure can't beat somebody else taking it off the bone for you.
Looks good.
Alright, so this is the point at which it's just going to take some time just to get all this chicken apart into smaller pieces. I mean, you know, because it is how it is, and you can pull it apart with your hands, or I guess we could put it on the cutting board and go after it with the knife, which I may end up doing here with these bigger pieces.
Chunks.
But this is also the point at which if you wanted to add something else into this, like you know, we really diced up our onions, but if you wanted to add some larger onion pieces, if you wanted to add some potato chunks, you know, some cut up new potatoes, or you know, even a cut up a bigger potato, this would be the time. That would really thicken it up and get you some more, get you some, you know, a thicker consistency. However, we just like lots of chicken, and that's just what we go for, because it is chicken stew. It's not potato soup. So with that, we'll just continue to peel and pull apart this chicken, and then when we get done, we'll pick back.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. The kids jingle belling and everyone telling when
Be of good cheer.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for tasting, and caroling out in the snow.
There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. Okay, so we've got all of the chicken cut up and it is in the pot. And now what I'm doing is cleaning up, because I just cannot stand to have a dirty workstation. I like clean. So we just put a whole bunch, as a matter of fact, I need to tell you that we did add another can of cream of chickens. Oh no, I'm sorry, another can of condensed milk, because we have just so much chicken in this. And so as you can see, the consistency is really good, and it is very thick with lots of chicken in here. So this is how we like it. And again, you can put potatoes or something else in here if you want, but you just kind of have to watch the consistency of you know, how you want it to feel, how you want it to be when you get done, and match that up with the milk and the chicken and the potatoes and the whatever else you're putting in there. So for right now, we've got it on simmer, got everything in here. We'll let this cook for a little bit, and then once it's done cooking, we will add salt and pepper to kind of season it a little bit. So anyway, we'll let this sit for a bit. We'll check back in. All right, it's been going for a little bit. I think it's ready. So, oh yeah, you got to keep this stirred up a little bit too. So I will. Oh yeah. All right, well, the chicken stew is done. If you follow these unbelievably precise instructions, you too can have an amazing pot of Fantasy Goddess chicken stew. So with that, I leave you to wish that you were here at my house, eating this for dinner. See ya.
Do you know how to make that not happen?
Matchstick in your teeth?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Onions. Love them.
Okay. First, you cut up the onion that's over there into tiny little pieces, and then you saute it with butter.
What does that mean?
Just cook it over in a pan or a pot. You can go ahead and put it in the pot you're going to put the soup in, either way, and that's less to clean up.
Okay.
And then you just cook it, like kind of keep it low and stirred until they cook. Use about 2 tablespoons of butter. And then you add your evaporated milk and do like 2 or 3 cans of that, and then do like a couple of cups of whole milk or reduced fat milk, and then add, depending on the thickness you want, go ahead and do your chicken as much as you want, and then you can add your cream of chicken soup that gives it thickness, and I would start with 2 cans of that.
Okay.
And salt and pepper to taste.
Okay. What about potatoes?
I didn't get any. If you want me to get them, I'll go to Walmart and get potatoes. I never put potatoes in
Okay.
ours. Chicken broth also gives a lot of flavor, so you can add some of that too.
Okay.
And just get it the consistency you want. When you put the chicken in, just kind of, it's already shredded, but just kind of squeeze it, and it makes it more tender. And as you put it in, like a handful at a time, just kind of squeeze it and shred it in your hand like that.
All right.
That's it. Then you
All right.
just let it simmer.